Hi, I'm Ashy. Welcome to my January alphabet painting series. So this year I decided to choose a New Year's resolution that I feel like is actually doable, and that is for the first 26 days of the year, to paint a small, quick watercolor sketch that corresponds with the letters of the alphabet. This will help me be disciplined and help me paint daily for this first, month or so. And hopefully this will help me also build that habit of creativity and just pulling out the paints every single day. And it's just building that habit of creativity. Let me know if you have any New Year's resolutions that you are deciding on for yourself this year. I'd love to hear your different ideas in the comments. So for each of these videos, I'll be using the brand new sketchbook that I'm starting this year. It's Moleskine watercolor album. It's not the highest quality paper, but for quick watercolor sketches, it does the job. Let's jump in. Today we're gonna do day 4, D, and I'm gonna do D is for drink. And so I'm gonna do a mug of, I'm thinking hot tea. So let me kind of move my thing here. There we go. And I'm gonna draw in my mug first with a pencil. And so we're just gonna start by doing it's gonna be kind of a straight walled mug, and try to make it a little bit bigger than my car for some reason, which I did tiny. And then a little bit of a curved line on the bottom. And then the other wall of the mug. And then the top is going to have a curved line as well. And we're going to make that an oval so that we can see slightly into the cup. And then put a nice handle on it. There, and then kind of gets a little bit bulbous as it connects. And then I'm just going to erase the lines that connect it where it connects so that it looks like it's all one piece. And clean up that bottom line a little bit. All right. So I'm going to put the little tea bag tab, I guess, out here. So it's just a big kind of square. And then you're gonna have the tea inside. And that's pretty much it. And then I'm gonna do a pattern on the mug. So to create the pattern, oh, I keep messing with this bottom edge. I just need to leave it be. I'm gonna do a diamond pattern. So it's gonna have like curved lines down because it's a round object. So I'm just going to do this, curved lines around the mug. Trying to make them similar distances apart. Okay, and then basically do the same thing on the other side, going the other direction. And then that creates a kind of easy pattern. And then I'm going to fill in with, I haven't decided what colors. I guess I should decide, huh? What colors I want to fill it in. And then the handle, it's going to be whatever the darker color is. I'm just going to fill in the handle the darker color and not try to continue that pattern there. So I'm going to use my kneaded eraser and just kind of roll out some of that pencil. So by rolling, it lightens it up without picking up all of it. And then I also sometimes kind of dab if there's certain spots that are still too heavy. I just kind of dab it out. And now you can barely see that, and that's what I want, because I don't really want the pencil showing, at least not at this point. I might change my mind and decide to add some line work later with fine liners, but as of right now, I do not plan to do that. Now I'm going to use a small brush. This is a size 0 in my set. What colors do I want to make? I think I want to do blue for sure. And my paints I have already woken up here. So I just have to get some of that color. And I want it to be pretty dark, dark value. I don't want it to be a light value of this color. And I actually think I want it to be even darker. So I'm going to grab a little bit of Payne's Gray as well and mix that in with the blue. So it's super, super dark blue in terms of the hue. And then I'm using a very thick consistency of paint. So I'd call it kind of like a creamy consistency. And then I have to do, well, I don't have to, I'm choosing to do like a pattern where the like vertical rows are all the same color. So I'm gonna come here and just kind of line that and fill it in. And because this is such a small area, just really have to be careful not to have too much water. Like I think I even have too much water, even though it's very thick still. It's still a little too much water. So I just dabbed it on my towel. And then here I'm going around the little paper. And see, that first one got a little bit wild because it did have too much water. Just try to clean it up a little bit. Okay. And then I just keep doing the same thing, filling in around, again, around this tab, and then filling in all of these diamonds, reloading my brush as necessary. And then I just have to decide where I want a highlight to be, because that area I will keep slightly lighter to get a highlight. So I just have to decide which direction I want the light shining from. And I think I'm going to do the light shining from like this angle. So the front kind of toward the handle. So this area I'll leave a highlight and the rest of it will be darker. All right, so over here, I'm just gonna start lightening up some of this paint a little bit. So these ones that I already painted in are maybe a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna just introduce a little bit of water again, dry it off, and then lift up some of the paint. Oops, trying to stay within the little diamonds still. I'm just lifting some of that paint, and then these ones I was kept a little bit lighter already. Clean up here just a little bit. Okay, and then continue the pattern with just some more watery consistency of the paint. I'll go in and add another layer to this because this is now too light, but I can add another layer just to create that little bit of a highlight. So again, just kind of reactivating with a little bit of water and then lifting up a little bit of the pigment to get that highlight back. Okay, and then I can go in and add to these ones a little bit deeper color again. Now I'm going to add that same color to the handle. And then I just feel like this needs a little bit of water touching it just to kind of blend out those hard edges on the diamonds. For where I lifted some of the paint, it kind of pushed it to those edges and made it look funny. I don't know how else to describe it, so I'm just kind of pulling some of that paint back in toward the middle with just very little water on my brush and just kind of touching the sections. I'm not really pressing or scrubbing or anything like that, just kind of touching those areas. Okay, and then to bring in, I'm going to leave the other diamonds white, and it's a little bit messy, but that's okay. And I'm going to now add in just a little bit of a tea color, so just a very soft brown golden color into the inside of the cup. And that blue is dry now, so I can touch it as long as I don't like activate it by scrubbing it or anything. And just grab a tiny bit more. Color there. Okay. And then if the light is shining on this side, that means the inside of the cup, this right side will be a little bit darker. So I'm just going to add a little bit of a darker brown color into there, but I think I need to let it dry for just a second because it's a little bit too wet. Okay, now it's damp and I can just tap in a little bit of color here. Well, whoops. Or, you know, make the cup more full because I can't tap in very well. So the cup's just going to be fuller now. And that's okay. The edge is darker, which I am kind of happy with, and then come back to that idea of tapping in on this side. Clean my brush, dry it off mostly so I'm not introducing a bunch of water, and then just kind of touch that spot to pull some of that paint into that area. See, I still had too much water on my brush, so instead of pulling the paint, it's pushing it away. If you introduce too much water, it pushes the pigment away. I'm still working on that water control aspect here. I just need to have more pigment on my brush and not a bunch of water. Okay, and there we go. And then kind of create little ripply looks here, just to add a little interest. Okay, and then I'm gonna make the tag like a bright orangey red, mostly orange. Just a little bit of my pink mixed in there to take it a little more toward red, and just touch that to the tag here. Rinse, dry, and then touch this edge with just a little bit of clean water and let it bleed a little bit. Okay. Now, on this top part here, I feel like I need to add just a tad bit of blue around the rim, just to show that edge. All right, now for the shadow, I'm just gonna mix up a little bit of some gray. So I'm using Payne's gray here, so it's like a bluish gray. And then rinse off my brush, and then just kind of touch. Again, the light's coming here, so the shadow would be more behind the mug and casting it this way. And just letting a little bit of that blue bleed in there too. I reactivated the blue a little bit. Touch close, let it bleed out. And then just a little bit of a drop shadow here where it's touching the ground. Or the table probably, right? All right, and then just for a tiny bit of a shadow on this edge of the cup, I'm just gonna pull it straight down the edge. And then I'll let that all bleed a little bit. Maybe just a tiny bit of a shadow here too, just to show the edge. And it's turning blue because again I'm touching those blue areas just a tiny bit, and it's okay. Okay, and then now I need to put in a string for the tea bag. So I'm just gonna get some black here on a liner brush and just put in a nice thin string. Okay, there we go. for D. Is for all right, time for this attempt at calligraphy again. So a D goes up and then heavy down and then up and then heavy down. D, R, I, light up, heavy down, light up, oops, heavy down, in, light up, heavy down, K. Okay, that maybe slightly better, maybe. But there is day 4. D is for drink. I'm just kind of blending out this shadow edge a little bit because I didn't like it. And I don't like this bottom like spidery part either. So I'm gonna blend it just a little bit. All right, D is for drink. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to see when each of my new videos drops. Have an awesome day.